Have you ever felt trapped in a situation that drains your energy, yet you can't seem to walk away? You tell yourself to hold on, that things will change, that maybe if you try harder, it will get better. But deep down, you know the truth. Some things, some people, are simply not meant to stay in your life. Imagine standing in a burning house. Smoke fills the air. The heat is unbearable. You know you should leave, but you hesitate. Maybe it's fear. Maybe it's hope. Maybe it's the belief that if you endure just a little longer, things will fix themselves. But fire doesn't wait, and neither should you. We've all been there. Holding on to toxic relationships, staying in jobs that kill our spirit, endlessly replaying past mistakes. We tell ourselves that walking away is giving up, that letting go is weakness. But what if it's the greatest act of strength you can take? The ancient Stoics, Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, Epictetus, understood this truth long before us. They taught that true power lies in detachment, in knowing what is worth your energy, and having the courage to walk away from everything that no longer serves you. In this video, you'll discover 13 life-changing Stoic lessons on why walking away isn't failure, but freedom. You'll learn how to protect your energy and mental peace, why setting boundaries is an act of self-respect, how letting go leads to growth, clarity, and emotional resilience. Each lesson is rooted in Stoic wisdom, real-life application, and simple practices you can start using today. We'll begin with the most powerful lesson first: why not everything deserves your energy. Then, we'll explore how boundaries, detachment, and self-mastery give you the strength to walk away without guilt. And at the very end, the most profound Stoic insight on why true strength isn't in holding on, but in knowing when to let go. If you've ever struggled with walking away, stay with me until the end. This might just be the perspective shift you need. Like, subscribe, and comment below. What's the hardest thing you've ever walked away from? Lesson 1. Not everything deserves your energy. Life is a marketplace. Everywhere you turn, something demands your attention. People, responsibilities, conversations, distractions. But here's the truth. Your energy is not infinite. Every moment you spend on something unworthy is a moment stolen from something that truly matters. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Strength is not just about endurance. It's about discernment. It's about knowing when to engage and when to walk away. Imagine carrying a basket through a crowded marketplace. Every stall calls out to you, tempting you with goods, conversations, and commitments. Some stalls sell wisdom, growth, and meaningful connections. Others offer nothing but noise, gossip, and obligations that drain your spirit. If you try to collect everything, your basket will overflow with things that add no real value. And soon, you'll have no space left for what truly matters. We do this every day. We pour energy into toxic relationships, endless social media debates, jobs that no longer align with our values. We tolerate people who disrespect our time. We hold on to grudges, replay past mistakes, and exhaust ourselves over things outside our control. But what if you chose differently? Seneca warned, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it." Walking away isn't about indifference. It's about self-respect. It's about reclaiming your time, your energy, your peace. Think of someone in your life who constantly drains you, someone whose words leave you exhausted, whose presence makes you feel smaller. Why do you still engage? Why do you keep feeding a fire that only burns you? The hard truth is, not every battle is worth fighting. Not every argument needs a response. Not every person deserves your energy. Ask yourself, does this situation align with my values? Does this conversation bring clarity or chaos? Am I holding on out of obligation or out of fear? When you let go of the unnecessary, you create space for growth. You free your mind for deeper thinking, your heart for genuine relationships, your energy for pursuits that nourish your soul. Emotional resilience doesn't come from engaging in every fight. It comes from knowing when to step back. So here's your challenge. For the next 24 hours, pay attention to where your energy goes. Notice what drains you. Notice what fuels you. And make one decision, just one, to walk away from something that no longer serves you. This is the power of walking away. This is the strength of Stoicism. And this is how you reclaim your life. Lesson 2. Walking away is an act of self-respect. There comes a point in life when you realize that staying is not a sign of strength, but a surrender of your own dignity. Walking away is not about giving up. It is about choosing yourself. The world teaches us that endurance is noble, that sacrificing our well-being for the sake of others is admirable, that walking away makes us selfish. But the Stoics understood a deeper truth. Self-respect is not found in enduring what harms you. It is found in the courage to remove yourself from what no longer aligns with your values. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Never esteem anything as of advantage to you that will make you break your word or lose your self-respect. What good is winning an argument if it costs you your peace? What good is staying in a situation that constantly drains you just to prove your loyalty?" Imagine a person trapped in a cycle of toxic relationships. Every conversation leaves them exhausted. Every interaction chips away at their confidence. They stay, not because they are happy, but because they fear what will happen if they leave. They believe that staying is an act of strength, but is it? Seneca warned, "Associate only with those who improve you, those who make you feel better, those who uplift your spirit." If someone disrespects your boundaries, dismisses your needs, or treats your time as disposable, what are you proving by staying? There is a difference between patience and self-betrayal, between kindness and self-sacrifice. The moment you continue giving your energy to something that dishonors your worth, you are the one choosing to suffer. Walking away is an act of self-respect because it declares, "I refuse to participate in what diminishes me." It is a silent but powerful way of saying, "I will not be part of a cycle that drains me." Look at your own life. Where are you compromising yourself? Are you staying in a friendship that no longer serves you? Are you engaging in arguments that lead nowhere? Are you tolerating behavior that makes you feel less than you are? You do not have to fight to prove your worth. You do not need closure from those who refuse to give it. Your self-respect is not up for negotiation. The power of walking away is the power to reclaim your peace, to say, "I choose me," to understand that your energy is sacred and that not everyone is worthy of it. For the next 24 hours, notice where your boundaries are being crossed. And when it happens, instead of arguing, instead of explaining, simply walk away. This is not weakness. This is wisdom. This is Stoic teachings today. Lesson 3. Closure is internal, not external. We spend so much of our lives waiting for closure, an apology that never comes, an explanation that won't change anything, a final conversation that we hope will give us peace. But the truth is, closure isn't something others give us. It's something we give ourselves. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." We cannot control what others say, do, or refuse to give us, but we can control how we respond. We can control what we choose to carry and what we choose to release. Think of a time when you held on to anger, waiting for someone to make things right. Maybe they betrayed you. Maybe they left without explanation. Maybe they hurt you in ways they never even acknowledged. You replayed the situation over and over in your mind, hoping that one day they would understand, that they would feel what you felt, that they would finally say the words that would set you free. But that day never came. Seneca warned, "He who suffers before it is necessary suffers more than is necessary." When we depend on others for closure, we put our peace in their hands. We give them control over our healing. But true closure doesn't come from someone else's words. It comes from deciding, I no longer need this to move forward. Imagine holding onto a heavy rope. Someone on the other end is pulling, resisting, refusing to let go. Your hands burn, your arms ache, and yet you keep holding on, thinking that if you just endure the pain a little longer, they will finally meet you halfway. But what if the only way to heal is to stop pulling? What if letting go isn't losing, but winning back your own peace? In today's world, we see this everywhere. People hold on to toxic relationships, unable to move on because they never got an apology. They let past mistakes define them, clinging to regret as if replaying it will change the outcome. They seek validation from those who never valued them, waiting for acknowledgement that may never come. But what if you stopped waiting? What if, instead of searching for external closure, you chose to close the door yourself? Epictetus taught, "Freedom is the only worthy goal in life. It is won by disregarding things that lie beyond our control." You don't need their apology. You don't need their understanding. You don't need their permission to heal. What you need is the courage to walk away. Walking away is not just about leaving a person or a situation. It's about releasing the grip that pain has on you. It's about deciding that your peace matters more than an unresolved past. It's about accepting that you may never get the explanation you want, but that doesn't mean you can't move forward. Think about something in your life that still lingers in your mind, a wound that hasn't fully healed, a person you still think about, a situation that still weighs on you. Now ask yourself, what are you waiting for? What if today, instead of waiting for closure, you created it? For the next 24 hours, practice letting go. Write down what you wish had been said. Then, burn the paper. Delete the old messages. Release the need for answers. And remind yourself, closure is not something you receive, it's something you choose. This is the walking away power. This is the essence of Stoicism Life Lessons. Lesson 4. Growth lies beyond your comfort zone. We crave comfort, routine, predictability. The familiar feels safe, and stepping beyond it feels uncertain, even terrifying. But comfort, if held onto too tightly, becomes a prison. The Stoics understood this well. Growth, true, meaningful growth, never happens in comfort. It happens in challenge, in discomfort, in stepping into the unknown. Seneca warned, "It is not because things are difficult that we do not dare. It is because we do not dare that things are difficult." Fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of change. These fears keep us in the same patterns, repeating the same cycles, avoiding discomfort at all costs. But discomfort is not the enemy. It is the doorway to transformation. Imagine a seed planted in rich soil. It remains buried in darkness, safe, unchallenged. But to grow, it must break open. It must push through the earth, facing resistance, struggle, and uncertainty. Only then does it reach the light. We are no different. Walking away from what is familiar is not just about leaving toxic people or situations. It's about breaking free from the mental patterns that keep us small. It's about recognizing that growth requires risk, and that the discomfort of change is far better than the pain of stagnation. Think of a time when you avoided something difficult, a hard conversation, a career move, a dream you told yourself was impossible. Now ask yourself, what held you back? Was it the actual challenge, or was it your fear of stepping outside your comfort zone? Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." Every challenge, every moment of discomfort is not a roadblock. It is a path, a test, a chance to prove to yourself that you are capable of more. In today's world, we see people trapped by fear of change. They stay in unfulfilling jobs because starting over is scary. They remain in relationships that drain them because leaving is unknown. They hold on to identities that no longer fit because reinventing themselves feels too big, too uncertain. But here's the truth. The greatest version of yourself exists on the other side of fear. Walking away from what no longer serves you is an act of courage. It is choosing discomfort over regret, choosing uncertainty over stagnation, choosing to believe that you are capable of handling whatever comes next. Look at your own life. Where have you been choosing comfort over growth? What is the one thing you know you need to do, but fear has kept you from doing? For the next 24 hours, challenge yourself. Do something uncomfortable. Say no to something that drains you. Say yes to something that excites you but scares you. Take one step, just one, outside your comfort zone. That first step will feel uncertain, but what lies beyond it is growth, freedom, and the power to become who you were meant to be. This is the walking away power. This is emotional resilience. Lesson 5. You can't change others, only yourself. How much time have you wasted trying to change someone? Trying to make them see your perspective? Trying to fix them? Trying to convince them to be different? We believe that if we just say the right words, if we try harder, if we don't give up, they will finally change. But they don't, and we are left frustrated, drained, and disappointed. Epictetus warned us against this illusion. The more we value things outside our control, the less control we have. Other people's actions, choices, and beliefs are outside your control. You cannot force them to change, but you can change how you respond. Think about it. Have you ever tried to force someone to grow, to push them to be more disciplined, more self-aware, more respectful? And yet, they resisted. Maybe they even pushed back harder. That's because people don't change when we want them to. They change when they are ready. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." The best way to inspire change in others is to live as an example. Not through force, not through arguments, but through action. Imagine a gardener who spends years trying to turn a thorn bush into a rose bush. They water it, they feed it, they prune it with care. But no matter what they do, the thorns remain. Eventually they realize the truth. It was never meant to be a rose. It was always going to be what it is. We do the same in our relationships. We hold on to toxic friendships, hoping people will treat us better. We stay in unhealthy environments, waiting for things to improve. We waste energy trying to fix others rather than investing in our own growth. But here's the reality. Some people are not meant to grow with you. Some relationships are not meant to last. Some battles are not worth fighting. Walking away isn't about giving up. It's about recognizing what is, instead of clinging to what you wish it could be. It's about protecting your peace, rather than exhausting yourself trying to control what is beyond you. Seneca said, "Associate with those who will make a better man of you. Welcome those whom you yourself can improve. The right people will not require you to fix them. The right people will not drain your energy." Growth happens when you surround yourself with those who uplift you, not those who resist change at every turn. So ask yourself, where in your life are you wasting energy trying to change someone? Who are you holding on to, hoping they will become different? What would happen if you let go and focused on your own growth instead? For the next 24 hours, observe where you are trying to control others. Then remind yourself, their choices are not yours to fix. Focus on your own path. Lead by example. And let go of the illusion that you can change someone who is not ready to change. This is emotional resilience. This is the power of letting go. Lesson 6. Trust your intuition and say no. There's a voice inside you, a quiet one, a knowing one. It warns you when something isn't right, when a situation drains you, when a person's intentions don't align with yours. But how often do you ignore it? We say yes to things that deplete us. We engage in conversations that exhaust us. We entertain people who do not respect us. And why? Because we fear disappointing others. Because we have been taught that saying no is selfish. Because we believe that being agreeable will keep us safe. But Marcus Aurelius reminds us, if you seek tranquility, do less, or do what's essential, which brings a double satisfaction, doing less and doing it better. Saying no is not rejection. It is clarity. It is choosing where your energy goes. It is understanding that your time is limited and that not everything deserves it. Think about the last time you said yes when you wanted to say no. Maybe a friend invited you to an event you had no interest in, but you went anyway. Maybe a co-worker asked for a favor that disrupted your own priorities. Maybe someone pulled you into a conversation that left you emotionally drained. What did you gain from saying yes? Now imagine what would have happened if you trusted yourself. If you simply said, no thank you, no explanation, no guilt, just self-respect. Seneca warned us, if a man does not know to which port he is sailing, no wind is favorable. If you do not define your boundaries, others will do it for you. If you do not protect your energy, the world will consume it. This is why saying no is an act of self-preservation. It is not about being cold. It is not about isolating yourself. It is about making space for what truly matters, for what fuels you instead of drains you. Look at your own life. Where have you been saying yes when you should be saying no? Where have you been ignoring your intuition out of fear? Walking away is a form of strength. It is understanding that your energy is precious and that not everyone deserves access to it. For the next 24 hours, practice the power of saying no. If something doesn't align with you, don't explain, don't overthink, just say no. This is emotional resilience. This is the power of letting go. Lesson 7. Walking away is strategy, not surrender. We've been conditioned to believe that persistence is strength, that staying in a battle, no matter how exhausting, is the mark of resilience. But what if the real strength lies in knowing when to walk away? What if leaving isn't giving up, but choosing a better path? Marcus Aurelius reminds us, the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. Walking away is not retreating. It is repositioning. It is shifting our energy from something unproductive to something that serves our highest purpose. Think of a general in battle. He does not throw his soldiers into a fight they cannot win. He does not waste resources on a war that drains his forces with no victory in sight. Instead, he withdraws. He regroups. He studies the landscape and finds a path that leads to success. We must do the same in life. How often do we stay in situations simply because we're afraid of being seen as weak? A toxic relationship, hoping the other person will change. A draining job, believing things will somehow improve. A conflict with someone who refuses to understand. We tell ourselves that walking away means losing. But the truth is, staying in a losing battle is not strength. It is self-destruction. Seneca warns us, "He who fights with himself is his own enemy." Many of our struggles are not with others, but with our own refusal to let go. We cling to battles that should have ended long ago. We hold on to people, places, and situations that no longer serve us. But walking away does not mean we stop fighting. It means we choose where to direct our fight. Imagine a river encountering a massive rock in its path. It does not crash into the rock over and over, trying to break through. It does not waste its force against something immovable. Instead, it flows around. It finds another way. And over time, that gentle persistence reshapes the landscape itself. This is the power of walking away, the power of choosing clarity over conflict, the power of understanding that sometimes the best way to win is to leave the battlefield entirely. Where in your life are you resisting change? What battle are you still fighting? Even though deep down you know it's time to move on. For the next 24 hours, ask yourself one simple question. Is this worth my energy? If the answer is no, then strategize your exit. Plan your next move. Redirect your focus to something that moves you forward. Lesson 8. Let your actions speak louder than words. Words are easy. Promises, arguments, explanations, they come effortlessly. But in the end, what truly defines you is not what you say, but what you do. How many times have you tried to prove yourself through words, defended your choices, explained your worth, argued for your perspective, but did it change anything? Marcus Aurelius reminds us, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." Your words mean little if your actions do not align with them. In Stoicism, strength is found in silent discipline, in doing rather than saying. Think of the moments in your life when words failed, when no matter how much you explained, people still misunderstood you, when no matter how much you argued, nothing changed, when no matter how much you tried to convince someone, they remained the same. What if instead of speaking you simply acted? A person who truly values their time does not waste it trying to justify themselves. A person who knows their worth does not beg for recognition. A person who understands walking away power does not engage in pointless debates. They simply leave. Imagine someone constantly disrespecting your boundaries. You could argue. You could explain why they should treat you better. You could repeat yourself over and over. Or you could show them by removing yourself, by making it clear through action, not words, that you will not tolerate disrespect. Seneca said, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." Most of our stress comes not from the situation itself, but from our resistance to letting go. We try to control how others see us. We try to explain our pain. We try to make them understand, but understanding is not always necessary. Action is. If someone doubts you, let your results answer them. If someone disrespects you, let your silence and absence teach them. If someone underestimates you, let your growth prove them wrong. Walking away is not weakness. It is emotional resilience. It is knowing that your value does not require validation. Where in your life are you wasting energy on words? What situation are you explaining when you should be acting? For the next 24 hours, practice silence where you would normally explain. Instead of defending yourself, show your truth through action. Instead of engaging in a fruitless argument, walk away. Lesson 9. Seek validation from within. How much of your life has been spent chasing approval? Seeking validation from others, friends, family, society, hoping that someone, somewhere, will finally tell you that you are enough. But what if you stopped waiting? What if you realized that the only validation that truly matters is the one you give yourself? Seneca once said, "It is a great thing to know the season for speech and the season for silence." In a world that constantly demands attention, praise and recognition, the Stoics teach us that true peace comes from within, not from the shifting opinions of others. External validation is fragile. It changes with circumstances, trends, and expectations. One moment, you are celebrated. The next, forgotten. If your self-worth is built on the approval of others, you will always be at their mercy. Imagine a sculptor crafting a masterpiece. If he constantly seeks praise, adjusting his work based on every passing comment, he will never finish. His vision will be lost, shaped by the hands of others rather than his own. The same is true for you. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." If you believe that you need others to affirm your worth, you will always feel incomplete. But if you cultivate self-acceptance, if you learn to validate yourself, you become unshakable. Think about the choices you've made, the moments you hesitated because you feared judgment, the times you changed your path, not because it was right for you, but because you wanted approval. What would your life look like if you trusted yourself instead? Walking away. Power is not just about leaving toxic people or situations. It is about walking away from the need to be accepted. It is about embracing who you are, fully, unapologetically, without waiting for someone else to tell you it's okay. Right now, take a deep breath and release the need for validation. You do not need permission to be yourself. You do not need approval to follow your own path. For the next 24 hours, practice self-acceptance. When you catch yourself seeking approval, pause. Ask yourself, do I truly need this validation, or am I already enough? Lesson 10. Letting go is freedom. How much of your energy is spent holding on? Holding on to past mistakes, broken relationships, regrets, and expectations that no longer serve you. We cling to things, sometimes out of fear, sometimes out of habit. But what if the very act of holding on is what keeps us trapped? What if true freedom lies in letting go? Marcus Aurelius reminds us, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." The Stoics understood that suffering often comes not from what happens to us, but from our refusal to release what is beyond our control. Imagine carrying a heavy bag everywhere you go. At first, you hardly notice the weight, but over time, it wears you down. It drains your energy. It limits your movement. The burdens we carry in our minds work the same way. A grudge from years ago, a painful memory, the need for closure that will never come. These things weigh on us, yet we continue to hold them. Why? Because letting go feels like losing control. But the truth is, letting go is an act of power. It is the realization that you do not need to carry everything, that you can put the weight down and walk forward, lighter, freer, stronger. This is the essence of walking away power. Letting go doesn't mean forgetting. It doesn't mean pretending something didn't happen. It means making peace with it. Accepting that some things, some people, are not meant to stay. That your growth is more important than your attachment. Think of a river. Water flows effortlessly, adjusting to obstacles, carving new paths when necessary. It does not cling to the rocks in its way. It moves forward. Seneca said, "He who suffers before it is necessary suffers more than is necessary." So ask yourself, how much suffering are you holding on to? What would happen if you simply let it go? Right now, take a deep breath. Visualize one thing that has been weighing you down. A regret, a resentment, an expectation. Now, release it. There is freedom in this. There is strength in this. Today, practice letting go. If you find yourself obsessing over something you cannot change, pause. Remind yourself, this does not belong to me anymore. Then, redirect your energy to something that nourishes your soul. Lesson 11. Protect your inner peace. There is a place within you that no one else can touch. A sanctuary of calm, untouched by the noise of the world. But in life, this peace is constantly under attack by negativity, by toxic people, by unnecessary drama. The question is, will you protect it? The Stoics believed that true peace comes not from controlling the external world, but from mastering our inner world. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Too often, we give others permission to disturb our peace. We allow their words, their actions, and their energy to dictate how we feel. We react to insults. We absorb negativity. We let external chaos invade our internal world. But here's the truth. Your peace is your responsibility. Imagine standing in a garden, a space you have carefully cultivated. The flowers represent your joy, your focus, your sense of purpose. Now, imagine letting just anyone walk through, some with kindness, but others with anger, resentment, or chaos. How long before they trample the flowers? This is what happens when you fail to set boundaries. Seneca once said, "Associate only with those who improve you." Protecting your peace is not about avoiding life or shutting people out. It's about choosing where your energy goes. Some conversations are not worth having. Some arguments do not deserve your attention. Some people do not deserve access to your mind. There is walking away power in knowing when to disengage. You don't have to fight every battle. You don't have to justify yourself to those who refuse to understand you. You don't have to carry burdens that are not yours to bear. Instead, choose peace. In daily life, this means saying no to unnecessary drama, limiting time with negative influences, focusing on what you can control and letting go of what you cannot, practicing stillness, whether through meditation, deep breathing, or moments of solitude. A Roman general was once asked how he remained calm before battle. His response, "I prepare my mind before I prepare my sword." This is emotional resilience. This is the power of letting go. Right now, take a deep breath. Remind yourself, no one has the power to steal my peace unless I allow it. Today, practice guarding your inner sanctuary. When negativity approaches, pause. Ask yourself, does this deserve my energy? If not, walk away. Redirect your focus to what truly matters. Lesson 12. Master your inner world. Everything outside of you is beyond your control. The world will shift, people will change, circumstances will challenge you. But the one thing you always have power over is your mind. The Stoics understood this deeply. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." The key to true resilience is not trying to control what happens around you, but mastering how you respond. Many people waste energy reacting to every insult, every setback, every difficult person they encounter. They let the actions of others dictate their emotions, turning their peace into something fragile, something that can be stolen by a single unkind word. But what if you could take your power back? Imagine standing in the middle of a storm. The wind howls, the rain falls, but within you, there is stillness. This is the power of mastering your inner world. It means choosing not to be disturbed by things that don't matter. It means refusing to let negativity enter your mind. It means responding to chaos with clarity and to anger with calm. Seneca reminds us, we suffer more in imagination than in reality. Most of the stress we experience comes not from actual events, but from the way we interpret them. We replay past mistakes. We worry about things that haven't even happened yet. We allow fear and doubt to take control. But the truth is, your mind is yours to command. When someone insults you, you have a choice. Do you react with anger, or do you remain indifferent? When something goes wrong, do you panic, or do you stay grounded? This is walking away power at its highest level. Not just walking away from people or situations, but walking away from emotional reactions that don't serve you. In practical terms, this means practicing mindfulness, becoming aware of your thoughts, and choosing which ones to entertain. Creating mental boundaries, deciding what deserves your energy and what doesn't. Learning emotional discipline. Understanding that your first reaction is not always the best reaction. Accepting what you cannot change and focusing only on what you can control. The world will always test you, but when you master your inner world, those tests no longer shake you. You will carry your own peace, no matter where you go. Right now, take a deep breath. Remind yourself, I control my thoughts, I control my emotions, I control my responses. Today, practice mastery over your mind. When faced with negativity, pause. When challenged, respond with wisdom, not emotion. Lesson 13. Honor your true self. Who are you when no one is watching? What do you truly believe in beyond the expectations of society, family, or friends? To honor your true self means to live in alignment with your values, without apology, without compromise. Marcus Aurelius once said, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." Too often, people spend their lives seeking approval, adjusting their actions to fit into molds that were never meant for them. They ignore their instincts, silence their voices, and betray their own needs in an attempt to please others. But the path of Stoicism teaches a different lesson. You are not here to conform, you are here to grow. And growth requires authenticity. Walking away from anything that forces you to be someone you're not is not weakness. It's walking away power. It is an act of deep self-respect. How many times have you stayed in a conversation that felt draining? How often have you said yes when every part of you wanted to say no? How many moments have you spent worrying about whether others approve of you, instead of asking whether you approve of yourself? Seneca reminds us, if you want to escape the burdens that weigh you down, stop letting others decide how you should live. The weight of expectations, the fear of disappointing others, these are burdens we choose to carry. And just as we choose to carry them, we can choose to let them go. Honoring your true self means knowing your values, and refusing to bend them for temporary approval. Choosing authenticity over acceptance, understanding that not everyone will agree with you, and that's okay. Walking away from situations, relationships, and environments that force you to be someone you're not. One of the most powerful things you can do in life is to stand firm in your truth, to recognize that your self-worth is not up for debate, that your dreams, your emotions, your boundaries matter. If you're in a situation where you feel like you have to constantly justify your existence, step back. Ask yourself, am I honoring who I truly am, or am I living for someone else's expectations? The more you live in alignment with your values, the more peace you will find. The more you walk away from what doesn't serve you, the more space you create for what does. Right now, make a decision. Choose honesty over pretending. Choose integrity over convenience. Choose yourself, not in a selfish way, but in a way that allows you to be the best version of who you were meant to be. This is the essence of Stoicism Life Lessons. This is the power of letting go. And this is Stoic Teachings Today. Everything we've explored today comes down to one simple but powerful truth. The ability to walk away is not a sign of weakness. It is an act of strength, self-respect, and wisdom. When you walk away from what no longer serves you, you reclaim your power. You protect your peace. You create space for growth, clarity, and purpose. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. That strength comes from knowing what you can control and what you must let go of. Walking away. Power is not about running from challenges. It's about choosing battles that align with your values. It's about setting boundaries that protect your energy. It's about honoring your true self, even when it's difficult. By embracing Stoicism Life Lessons, you can cultivate emotional resilience. You can break free from toxic cycles. You can master the art of letting go, and in doing so, discover true freedom. Right now, take a moment to reflect. What is one thing in your life that is draining you? One thing that no longer aligns with who you are? One thing you've been afraid to walk away from? Make the decision. Choose yourself. Let go and step forward with strength. If this message resonated with you, don't stop here. Join our community by liking this video, subscribing to Stoic Teachings Today, and sharing your thoughts in the comments. Your journey to wisdom, peace, and purpose starts now, and it starts with you.